Well, you just finished registering your company in the US and now I have to apply for a bank account, right? In this video, I'm gonna cover some of the main steps to apply for a US bank account for your LLC or your corporation and what the banks will require you and why you have to pay attention while you're doing that process. My name is Diego Sampaio, co-founder of Globalfy, where we have helped over 10,000 entrepreneurs from all over the world to register and manage their business in the US. So talking about banking, this is something that's really critical for all US operations, right? If you don't have a bank account, you can receive payments, you can make payments. So you have to understand that the first thing is that as you are not a US citizen, as you are not a US resident, for the banks, you are considered a high risk client. So this means that when you're applying for your bank account, you have to be really cautious and to be really attentive about the information that you're providing for the bank that you choose, right? Unfortunately, a lot of the largest banks from the US, like Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo, they do not accept online applications for not US residents or US citizens. And that's where comes a lot of the neobanks and the fintechs that provides an outstanding service for digital entrepreneurs. I can mention here Mercury, Lily, Relay, Inter, even Brax or Payoneer. Those are fintechs or neobanks that they allow someone without a social security number to apply for a full banking service remotely. What they're going to be looking for when you start in the process? They're going to be looking for the company documents, so the certificate of registration with the state. They're going to also be looking for your EIN letter. That's a letter that IRS sends to you once you get your federal tax registration number. They're going to be looking for an address in the US. This can be a virtual address, but it has to be inside the US. And they will also ask for an address outside the US where you are physically located and providing your services. So again, this address can be outside the US, but you're going to usually need a utility bill to prove that you live in that address or that you work at that address. And they will also require the personal details from anyone in the company that has over 25% of the shares of the company or that is in an administrative position at the company, someone that can make decisions for the company. They're gonna usually need a passport and also a utility bill. Again, if you don't have a social security number, you're gonna be fine. If you have a social security number or an ITIN, your chances to get approved really fast will go increase. In terms of the business operations, they're gonna usually require a US phone number. There's a lot of services and you can check here on the description of the video some of the services that we refer that offers a US phone number. They're gonna also require our live website. In this website, it has to be a real website. It can't just be like a temporary parking page. You have to talk about your services or the products that you sell. If you're only selling on Amazon, sometimes you can also share the Amazon store page or eBay or whatever. But they're gonna require some sort of way that they can identify what products or services you are offering. And they're gonna also require a really deep, they tell that it's a brief information, right? But I'll tell that has to be a deep description about the service or the products that you're providing. Again, when you're describing what your company do, you have to remind that as you don't have a social security number, you are considered high risk, right? So you have to be really specific and descriptive when talking about what you're going to sell or what service you're going to provide. So let's say if you're a software developer and you're doing outsourcing services, okay? You can start like, I'm a software developer based in Germany. I'm going to be providing software development for customers based in the US and also based in Latin America. The majority of my payments will come through Stripe and we'll do wire or I'll use my debit card to pay for costs that I have on the American company. Be really specific, explaining how you're gonna charge your customers, how you're gonna move the money that is in your company, who is gonna be your customers, and also where are they located at. So you have to be really good in describing your business to make sure that the odds of having them approving your bank account application will go way higher. Usually those fintechs, they do not charge a monthly fee, although some of them like Mercury, Brex, or even Relay or Lily, they have some also pro package or a premium package where they offer additional services or additional tools for a small fee. But anyway, It's usually way cheaper than a traditional bank in terms of monthly fees, and they're gonna provide you with a debit card, wire, international wire, and so on. So I mean, those fintechs will provide everything that your business needs in terms of banking to be able to operate in the US. Another important thing you have to consider is that once you have your bank account open, pay attention to any communication that the banks send you. So if they are asking for an invoice, so they can double check a wire that you received, or if they are looking to more information about a wire transfer that you did, provide them that information in a matter of time. I mean, as quick as you can, to make sure they have a good relationship with them and that they understand that you are a trustworthy customer. If you already have a business in the US, or if you're starting a business in the US, you can count on at Globalfy to provide you the register agent, the virtual address service, and even the accounting and tax for your American business. In the past 10 years, we have helped thousands of entrepreneurs just like yourself that are not US based to start and succeed in the US. There's a lot of free content about doing business in the US here in our YouTube channel and also at our blog at globalfy.com/blog. So you can check all the links from the banks and from the phone systems that I mentioned in this video here in the description of this video, and let us know if you have any questions. Thanks so much for your time. Looking forward for the next one. Bye-bye.